going on, everybody? Welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel. It's Amberlee here, and when I told my stepmother that I wanted spicy noodles, she gave me tapatio extra spicy, and I've already taken 2 bites, and it's already pretty spicy, but I just wanted to go ahead and do a mukbang for you guys, because this is usually the season where my eating disorder kicks up, and I thought it's easier for me if I'm eating around people, because it's like there's no shame in eating, I guess. I don't know, like every time I eat I feel so ashamed and like unhealthy and just
oh goodness, that was a big burp. He was.
He's doing some tummy time. I feel so gross every time I eat, like I don't know why. But, I do eat because I don't want to get like I was. You know what I mean? So, mukbangs help me just as much as they help other people. And it feels like we're just sitting and chatting while we're eating. We're just chatting. Oh god. Yo. This is like, this is really spicy. Oh god. I slurped and it got in my eye. Probably gonna have burns in my eye. Shit. It also doesn't help that it just came out of the microwave. So, I'm gonna be right back. I'm gonna go get some milk because I'm a big baby. I'll be right back.
Hi.
I know what you're thinking. How white can you possibly get? Yeah, that's, look, I came from, okay, my culture, and it's funny to say that because white people are so bland, but, and this is exactly my point. We think Takis are spicy, okay? So, I mean, no. We tell our kids, careful, it's hot, when it's a Dorito. So, I mean, I mean, this is coming from somebody that feels like a badass for being able to eat a Buffalo Wild Wing. For being able to eat buffalo sauce. And then still, like, crying on the inside a little bit. Just to look cool. But I'm actually, like, dying. I like spicy, I do. But I can't handle it. I was just sitting here watching Orange Is the New Black. Trying to eat these new noodles. And I want to talk about something since we're doing a mukbang. Since we're doing a mukbang. I don't know how to say it. I don't know. Maybe you guys can, like, correct my pronunciation in the comments, but shit, what was I gonna say? Oh yeah. So this doesn't, by the way, this doesn't help. I'm just a nicotine addict. Okay, so I'm going to talk about a couple things that nobody ever told me when it came to having a kid. For example, I hate cleaning because before I had a kid, I wasn't good at it because of the fact that nobody really taught me. Now, my mom was one of those parents where she just wanted to keep me young for as long as possible, you know. So I was 12 years old, still didn't know how to make my bed. I was 12 years old, still not really knowing how to clean my room. Like, yeah, she would tell me to, and then she would help me, but part of having some of the things that I have, I don't really know which one it is, I don't know where to start when it comes to cleaning. So it would help me when my mom would be like, start with that corner over there and then move. So when I clean now as an adult, it's like, okay, like if I'm cleaning my room, for example, I'll start by my door. And then I'll start by my door, and then once that's all clean and everything's put away, then I'm like, okay, now I'll start with my bed. Now I'll go to my bed, you know, make my bed, clear it off, do whatever. And then go around my bed, go in my closet, clear it out, go to Riley's bed, strip the bed or whatever, and then put more blankets on it, or take out some of his extra toys and, you know, put his clothes away, do whatever I need to do. But what nobody told me was the fact that you get better at cleaning when you have kids, because you're able to see through, like, you know, like for example, I was about to give him a bath the other day, and I was like really noticing all of the dirt in like the bathtub, and then I'm like, I need to clean this tub. So gave him a bath, you know, whatever. I just avoided the creases in the corners at all costs so that I didn't get him more dirty and also sick. And then I put him to bed, and then I really started to see how dirty that bathtub is. So then started cleaning it, you know. And now the way I clean is thinking about, you know, do I really want my child bathing in this, you know, or like, he's starting to learn how to crawl, and then, like, just looking at this tile right now, I'm just like, do I really want him crawling all over these dirty floors? You know, like, for example, that right there is a big piece of paper. How would I feel if he started crawling over to it and put it on his mouth, and then put it in his mouth and then chokes on it, you know? And it's fucking terrifying. It's great, but it's terrifying, because now you're thinking that every little piece of dirt is gonna kill your child. Like, understand, like, they're all kind of like planning together, and like they're sitting there plotting, be like, okay, you can just like, yo, what kind of mold is on you? What kind of mold are you? Okay, you can give him this. Okay. And it's just like, oh, it's Also, your mom look or your mom voice, you will not get it when you're pregnant. You will find it on your own, and it's terrifying because you're like, holy shit, especially if you are like me, where you have a 5'3" stature, you're only 158 pounds, and that's just me being nice to myself. And every time you get mad, people used to go, "Aw." And then you find it and you're just like, and now I can't do it on command. So now even when I try, just to show people, hey, I'm intimidating now, they're still like, oh, you're so cute, because I can't channel it because he ain't doing nothing. You know what I mean? But when I was at work, I never thought I would hear myself say this, like, but I worked with a teenager, and we'll call him James, okay? So, we're closing, doing whatever, and this is when I worked at Starbucks, so this was recently. And James walks over with more milk, and he decides to yeet the milk over the damn kiosk. Nobody's paying attention, so nobody can catch it. And even if we could catch it, what the fuck, James? So, it's freaking on the floor now, leaking to where I just mopped. And I just remember looking at him, and James is like, oh fuck, why did nobody catch it? And I'm looking at James, and I was like, what the actual fuck were you thinking, James? And he was and James was like, well, I'm sorry, I just wanted to go home. And I was like, we all want to go home, James. Fucking fuck. Go get the fucking mop back. And then he's mopping, and then there's still like a little bit of milk running down the pipes, and he's like, there, I got it. And I looked at him, and I looked at it, and I was like, does that look clean? Does that look clean? He was like, no. Okay, then. And then I found myself going home, and I'm like, I sounded like my mom. Was that clean? Is that clean? That's not clean. Does that look clean? Such a mom sentence, honestly. Like, that's such a mom question. Does that look clean? This is good, but I'm dying. Another thing that nobody told me is that your bladder never bounces back, okay? You know how, okay, so you normal people, you normal people that your body did not have a kid yet, you know how when you have to pee, your body's like, hey, just letting you know I have to pee. Just letting you know you have to pee. You have to empty me. Oh, yeah, sure. I'm busy right now, though. I'll just pee later. Okay. And then after a couple seconds, your body's like, yo, empty me. I swear to God, I'm getting full. Okay. Just a few minutes, okay? All right. Hey, you really need to pee! And then it becomes an emergency, and then you have to pee. Yeah, not me. Whenever my bladder is supposed to be telling me, yo, just letting you know I'm getting a little full, no. It's like an all of a sudden, I barely get the memo that I have to pee, and then I'm going to fucking pee myself. Like, I can't even stay in one place. It's like, it just hits me out of nowhere, and then I'm like, and then it's one of those, like, I'm scared to move. Because if I move, it's gonna leak. And then when I stand up to pee, I have to stand like this. Like when I stand up to like go to the bathroom to pee, I have to stand like this for a second. And then I'm fine. Like, and then I still have to walk like this. And then it's like a struggle to get my pants off to make sure that I don't not make it. And I told my doctor, I was like, yo. And then I did the whole bladder gag, and she's dying. Like, it's funny, you know? And, like, I barely get the memo of, you know, other people are just like, hey, just letting you know I have to pee. My bladder, it's, hey, you're peeing! And I'm like, fuck! And I was like, I don't think that's normal. And she started laughing, and she's like, nobody told you? And I'm like, tell me what? And she's like, when you have a baby, everything changes. And I was like, so this is not gonna end. And she's like, you can do Kegels, you can do pelvic floor muscle exercises to strengthen it a little bit, but other than that, no. It was just one of those things that I kind of just thought that it would go back to normal. Like, I just assumed that I would just bounce back, and it's just because his head is like squeezing my bladder, and that once there's no more pressure on it, it'll be fine. And then it's just back to those small reminders until it becomes a problem. Like, but that is not true. So for those of you that are pregnant or are trying, prepare yourself and make sure you do Kegels. What, baby? He said, Mama, do you hear him? Watch. Listen. Hi.
What are you doing? Hi. Mama? Hey, Mama?
He's trying to crawl and he's getting frustrated. He's silly. You're so silly. You're so silly. You're so silly. Oh, you're okay, baby. You're okay, baby. It's okay. Yeah. Oh, hold on. Oh, he has a full belly.
You have a full belly? Yeah, you have a full belly. Yeah, you have a full belly. Yeah, you see yourself? Aww, he kisses. Aww, he kisses Mama. Kisses. Hey, can I tell you something? Hey, what are you doing? Hey, mister, can I tell you something? You screwed up my bladder, but I still love you. You messed up my bladder, but I still love you. Yes, I do. I do. Yes.
Oh. Tickle, tickle, tickle. A tickle, tickle, tickle.
Tickle, 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 tickle. that the doggies? That's the doggies. Yeah. He's my chunky monkey. He's my chunky monkey.
Yeah. Okay. So, where was I? Nobody ever told me about how easy it is to have a heart attack over what your kid does. Like, nobody ever told me that babies are on a mission to punt themselves off of the earth without any understanding of what they're doing. And your job as a parent is to prevent that from happening and giving them unconditional love and affection at the same time. And, like, he likes to roll around now, and his favorite thing to do is try to roll off the bed because he doesn't understand that he doesn't have the facilities to save himself yet. Like, he doesn't know how to crawl. He does know how to sit up, but he doesn't have the facilities to prevent himself from falling. And then he gets mad when he does fall. And understandably so, it's scary, you know. And then I'm like, bro, CPS is gonna come to my house one day. And it's like, it's not like I'm not paying attention. Like, you know, it's not like I just left him on the bed and then walked out of the room. It's not like that at all. Half the time, he's in the bed with me. Like, you know, we're taking a nap or whatever. And then he wakes up before I do, and instead of waking me up and saying, hey, I'm awake, can we play? Or, you know, whatever. He decides, you know what? I'm just gonna get up. And he'll roll off, and then start crying, giving me a fucking heart attack when I wake up and he's on the floor. And it makes me feel really bad, and I told the doctor about this, so before y'all come in there and attack me in the comments, his doctor said that that is perfectly normal. Babies will do that, and it is a very often occurrence. And the only thing that you need to do to prevent that from happening as a parent is to make sure that you're not too high off the ground. And we're not. We're literally like this far off the ground. It's not that far. You know, if anything, it just scares him. It probably doesn't even hurt him. It just scares him, you know. And I told my doctor, I was like, yeah, we're literally just, my bed is literally just an inch off the ground. So, what I've started doing is, if I'm going to take a nap too, he goes in his bed. And his bed is literally like a bassinet, and he hasn't fallen since, he hasn't started falling since I started doing that. The last time he fell was when he was 6 months old, and it was only like once. So I learned my lesson, never did it again. He's perfectly fine, he's perfectly healthy, and when I picked him up, he literally only cried for like 30 seconds. I picked him up immediately, gave him a big hug, gave him his binky, snuggled him real close, and he was fine. He was just scared. But nobody told me that that was a common occurrence. Nobody has told me that your baby will fall. Like, and that there's nothing you can do. Sometimes there's nothing you can do to prevent it. Sometimes they'll just fall. And nobody told me how much you'll fucking hate yourself for it afterwards. And another thing nobody told me is how fucking rude and disrespectful people are about your child. Like, especially when your ex's girlfriends think that they can tell you what to do with your child. What pisses me off, I don't mind that he moved on and found somebody new. That's not why I'm salty. I'm salty because these people are literally calling themselves their second mom to my son. Excuse me? His mom's right here, okay? You didn't push him out of your vagina. You didn't spend a week in labor, okay? You did not change his diapers. You did not feed him. You will not call yourself my son's second mother. You will keep his name out of your mouth. He is mine. And it pisses me off when they think that they have to compete with me just because I'm his son's mother. And they think that that means that we're having a secret affair and that they have to be there for every conversation. That is what pisses me off. It's not me you have to worry about, honey. It's him and his lying, cheating ways. That is what you have to worry about. Us communicating about our child does not mean that we are secretly sleeping with each other. If that's what you think, then maybe you shouldn't be with somebody that has a kid. We need to communicate for what's best for him. We need to communicate for child support. We need to communicate for visitation. That's it. That's literally it. And mind you, he isn't doing any of those things. So, believe me, honey, you can have him, honestly. And you better not make a TikTok going, by the way, he's safe with me, because he was safe with me too. But I wasn't safe, and neither are you. You better run and find a therapist. And, oh my god, the fact that they're, like, throwing him in my face and just being, like, every time we're on a conversation, he has to, like, show her, and be like, hey, what's up? And I'm, like, looking at her, and I'm just like, hi. And she's like,
so what's so important?
Not you. And I was like, okay, hi. I need to talk to my son's father, please, about our child. And she was like, okay. And I looked at her and I was like, oh, so you were involved with all the pushing and all the labor and everything? You helped create him? That's great. And you, don't talk to her like that. Okay, then put your dog away and then talk to me when the dog is on the leash. Thanks. Click. He hasn't called me since. And that was when Riley was 5 months old. So. Oh, and let's not even talk about how overplayed the term bitter baby mama is. I am not bitter. Okay? A bitter baby mama is somebody who uses the child to hurt the dad. They just want the dad back. They don't care about the kids. They use the child support to get their nails and hair done while talking shit about the dad because he left. That's not what I do. I'm mad because he doesn't pay child support for food for Riley. He doesn't call and ask and see him unless he's with his new toy, unless he's with his new flavor of the month, or, or his buddies, and then he wants to look like a good dad in front of his slut of the month, and that's not what I'm okay with. I'm not okay with that, like, at all. You can't just call me when you're free to talk about your son. Like, he doesn't do shit for him. Like, that's what pisses me off. So for those of you that are calling me a baby mama, a bitter baby mama, come over here and say it to my face. I fucking dare you. I'm my son's mother. That's what I am. Bitter baby mama and the baby's mother are two completely different things. Me having to call you out on your shit, me having to call you out for being a piece of shit to your son, Me having to call you out for being a piece of shit and not providing for your son, me having to call you a piece of shit, me having to call you out because you're being a piece of shit that hasn't paid a dime of child support since he was born is not being bitter. You just need to grow a pair and grow the fuck up and be a man. So anyway, now that that cat's out of the bag, okay, I'm fine. I thought I was choking for a second because it went down and then I couldn't breathe and then it just slid on down the rest of the way. What's worse than choking on a big clump of food is choking on a big clump of spicy food. Oh, because then you're like choking on the spice and the food at the same time. It's fucking horrible. Anyway. What nobody told me is how rude and inconsiderate people can be. Because when I was pregnant, I was like maybe 28 weeks or something. Like, I was in the 3rd trimester and I was probably about 8 or 9 months. No, I was 8 months. And I was like out to here and I'm walking in the store. And this lady stops me, she goes, "Oh my gosh, congratulations!" And I'm like, miserable and shit, and I'm like, "Thank you." And she's like, "How far along are you?" I was like, 28 weeks, and she goes, "Oh, the fuck is that supposed to mean? Are you calling me fat?" What? And I was just like, I remember asking her, I was like, "What's that supposed to mean?" And she's just like, "Are you having twins?" No. And she was like, "Okay, well, congratulations." And then she like walks away. Girl, you're lucky I'm pregnant and I can't run after you. Oh my god. And not to mention how people give unsolicited advice about what to do when you raise your kid. That pisses me off more than anything. Like, you got to raise your kids how you wanted, so let me raise mine the way I want. Okay? You parented your kids with spanking. You parented your kids by slapping them in the mouth because they didn't want to hug a stranger because it would hurt their feelings. No, thank you. No, thank you. Okay? Here's why I'm not gonna force Riley to hug people. Here's why, okay? I don't care if you get your feelings hurt. Fuck your fucking feelings. If my son is uncomfortable, he's uncomfortable. I'm not gonna force him into doing a custom greeting that we all do just because it'll hurt your feelings if he doesn't. Why the fuck are you getting your feelings hurt if the kid doesn't hug you, you fucking weirdo? Let's get that started. Let's get that straight, okay? Fucking, pisses me off. Because that would make him think that his opinion on somebody doesn't matter. And that can put him in a dangerous situation because he doesn't want to hurt the other person's feelings. And you want to know how I know? Because I was one of those kids. I took my ex back repeatedly because I didn't want to hurt his feelings because I was taught that that's not okay. It's not okay to make someone sad. So it doesn't matter how sad they make you. You know, basically what you're telling a kid when you tell them to hug somebody and they tell you no and you force them to because you don't want to hurt their feelings, you're basically telling your kid to put people's feelings above their own, and that's not okay.
Oh, well, if he doesn't hug me, he's gonna hurt my feelings.
Fuck your fucking feelings, Karen. He's not gonna hug you. He doesn't want to hug you. Like, ugh, ugh. Fuck out of here. Not only that, but let's talk about the spanking generation for a second, okay? Was I spanked as a kid? Yes. That's how I know it's wrong, okay? Because what I was taught from that is not, oh, I shouldn't do that again because that's unsafe, because that's dangerous. It was an, oh, I can't do that because you're gonna hit me. It's a fear tactic of your parents. You're gonna listen to me or I'm gonna hurt you, and I can because you're little and I'm big. And I can do whatever I want to you. And if you don't like it, then I'm just gonna hit you again. And that's like basically like oh, well, because I'm bigger than you and I'm stronger than you and there's nothing you can do about it. That's not okay. Yes, it's also not okay to throw a tantrum in a store, but you also gotta understand that kids have feelings like we do. And it's bigger than what they can understand and what they can comprehend. You know, imagine that you're in this tiny body and you're in a store and there's lights in your face, there's people talking around you, you can hear the cars outside, and then you see a toy and all you want is just this little toy and your parents tell you no, and on top of that, you have all this noise flooding your brain. Kids don't have the anger management that we have. Kids don't have the coping skills because they've only been around for 3, 4, 5 fucking years, okay? We've been around for 18, 20, 21, what the fuck ever. So you know how to manage your feelings. Good for you. They don't. Hitting them because they're making you angry is not okay. Because then what are you teaching them? Oh, you're making me angry, so I'm gonna hit you. Fuck that. Hell no. And the point that I'm going with this is I told my parents that I don't want anybody to spank him. I don't want that. If I'm at work and they're watching him and he's acting out and they can't think of anything else and that's what they do, I'm gonna be really pissed off. Not at him, but at them. You don't hit my child. And if I was gonna do that, if I thought that that was the best thing, which it's not, never is, you know,
What? Hey. Crawl to me, baby. Crawl to me. You can do it. You can do it. You can do it. You can do it. Alright, come on. Really?
Is mommy a jungle gym? Is mommy a jungle gym?
Oh, you give me kisses. Really? Are you sure?
Can you guys believe that he's 7 months old already? Anyway, so yeah, I told my dad about that. And he looked at me and he's like, well, what if he's doing this or blah, blah, blah. You call me, tell me to come home, and I'll do it. Oh, you'll spank him. No. You call me, and I'll come home, and I will deal with him to prove to you that you don't have to hit somebody in order to make them respect you. Like, fuck. You know, like, oh, why'd you spank him? Because he told me no. Okay, so what if you go to a freaking store and somebody says, and you ask this person, hey, is this on sale? No. What are you gonna do? Punch them in the face because they told you no? What the fuck? Oh. People can't accept that this generation, the last generation can't understand that this generation now notices that they were abused, and they're not passing that on to their children, and they have an issue with that. Because now we're saying abuse is not okay, and now they're like, oh shit. I wasn't abusive to you, I was just blah, blah, blah. Yeah, you were. Yeah, you were. No, I was. Okay, yes, you were. The fact that you have to keep saying over and over that you did not abuse me, if you didn't abuse me, you wouldn't have to say it over and over and keep trying to make it clear that you didn't. You wouldn't keep trying to save your ass. Like, you did it. It's fine. You did it. You know? Like... I just find it funny that people are still using the okay boomer, because the reason why boomers get so upset about it is because when we dismiss them like that, we are dismissing them the same way they dismissed us in the past, and it's pissing them off because now they know how it feels. So it's just funny, we're like, oh, well, sometimes all you have to do, you spare the rod, you spare the child, you spoil the child, blah, blah, blah. Okay, boomer. Oh, how dare you, blah, blah. Okay, boomer. It's just funny. Just dismiss them. Prove that they don't, because what they're doing is looking for an argument. So when you just dismiss them like, okay, boomer, it's the same thing as going, okay, honey. And it pisses them off. And it's so funny. So yeah, and then they're like, oh, you'll change your mind. You'll change your mind when he misbehaves. No. No, I won't. Oh, you'll change your mind. You'll change your mind. Just watch. No. And what is it with your fetish about a child getting spanked? Pervert. Like, why are you so obsessed with the idea of me spanking my kid? Fucking disgusting, man. Like, ugh. Fucking sick. And I'm not just talking about my parents. My parents aren't, like, obsessed with it. Like, that's gross. They're just like, you know, are you sure that that's what you want to do? Kind of thing. But I'm talking about adults that are so like, no, you have to, because if you do blah, blah, blah. It's like, why are you so obsessed with the idea of that? Like, Alright, well that includes this video. I'm almost done with my noodles. And he's getting restless, so I have to put him down somewhere so that I can finish eating my noodles. And then I can watch my show. And I know that he's not tired because he just woke up from a nap. He's not hungry, I just fed him. So he might need a diaper. But I think he's pretty content right now. I think this is all he wanted.
What is all you wanted? You just wanted your mommy. You just wanted your mommy. Oh, your sockies are coming off.
What do you want to tell the world?
Really? Really?
So, real quick before I go, if you guys are in Arizona somewhere, or like close to the Queen Creek area, or something like that, let me know, because especially if you have a baby. If you have a baby, or a small child, or a toddler, or anything like that, let me know, because Riley needs friends, and especially since I'm trying to plan his first birthday, you know, I know it's a little bit soon, but I'm trying to throw, like, I'm trying to go all out, you know, so I wanted to, find him some little friends, and maybe find me some mom friends, or something like that, so I will leave my Instagram in the description box below, and then you can send me a DM, and we'll plan how to get together and hang out, and have our kids meet each other, and it'll be fun. So anyways, I love you guys very, 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 very much, and I will see you all in the next video. Stay body positive. I'm out. Oh, he gave you a kiss too.